What's going on, everyone? This is KJ with Back in the Game Collectibles, and I'm not doing a reveal. I'm not breaking open any boxes. I really just want to talk about grading. And now that I have graded my cards or some cards with the four, I guess you could say, bigger companies, um, I can now say that I have an opinion on what I like more and what I don't like. Um, Before I jump into it, I do want to put a disclaimer out there because I know a lot of people like to jump in the comments. And there's going to be fanboys, and I get it. You love what you love, you hate what you hate, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But what I really want to state here right now, I understand that PSA slabs resell for more than everybody else. I get it. Okay? I know this. All right? So that's out there. So this video is not about resale. Okay? Even though PSA was handing out 10s to everybody, and now it seems like they want to grade harder for whether it's pop control or because other people are grading a lot harder than what PSA was doing. But we get it. Resell sells higher. This video is strictly really to talk about the look of the slabs, because I've heard a lot of stuff and it's kind of like I really question people's visual perspective on things as far as how they think something looks, and I really try to wrap my head around the logic of how some things look. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video because I really don't want it to be that long. So I took 4 slabs that I have, random slabs, just grabbed them, except for the HGA, and I'll explain that in a second. And just looking at them, trying to determine from a PC standpoint, if I was to take my cards and to put them in some kind of a display, what to me would look better if I had them hanging somewhere in like some kind of gigantic frame, if they were sitting on like in a trophy case or wherever. What looks better to the eye? Okay, this is strictly PC. Strictly PC. All right, so 4 slabs. So I recently got back HGA, and this is the HGA, well, one of the HGA cards that I got back. All right, so let's take a look at it. Okay, this is a Justin Jefferson purple select card. I did the color match with the splash, right? So you can see the splash in the bottom right hand corner of the label. Now, display wise, I think this looks great. I mean, you get a label that matches the actual color of the card. The slab is it's a clear slab. I mean, it's a clear slab. There's no cracks, no dings. The card doesn't move at all in it. I mean, it's in there good. I mean, you can shake it and it's not moving around at all. The label itself, I don't know who the picture belongs to, but there was a guy that got the Michael Jordan Scoring King, the 93 Scoring King card, and his label was the lightning rods that were coming down. And I thought that was the dopest thing. Like, that's the dopest slab that I've seen so far. I've seen some good Pokemon slabs where it's theme based after the card. And to me, presentation wise, the look of it, I mean, outside, like, I'm not going to be picky and be like, oh, well, it's not clear enough or, whatever. That's dumb. Like, the label looks good with the card itself. So if I was to put this up and say everything that I was doing was color match, like I had parallels, like a red ruby parallel, red ruby, red wave, the green parallels, whatever it was, and I was actually like want that to match for presentation wise, this looks good. It looks good. And a 9.5 is a gem in. So to me, this looks good. All right. So the next one that we're going to go with was SGC. Now, SGC slabs are about the same size as the HGA slabs. The only difference is these are pretty much, they're not rounded, where the HGA is rounded. But for the most part, the corner, and when I say rounded, I'm talking about the corners. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same size. Now, I can say this. People say they don't like SGC slabs. And I really don't understand why. You don't like the black matte, I guess, right here for some reason. If you go get a jersey framed, it's going to have a black matte around it. Or if it's going to be like black laid out around it, and it makes the jersey pop out more. I think they're called shadow boxes. And when you get something put into a shadow box, it's usually black around it. So, and the reason that they use black is because whatever is actually going into the frame, it makes it stand out more. It looks classier. It looks better when it stands out more. If you were to use a regular picture frame and not have any kind of a black matte or like a shadow, like a clear shadow box around it, it doesn't look as good. It wouldn't look as good. How many picture frames do you see that doesn't have, like, it's just a clear frame and you just slide a picture in and it just sits there? Like, this not a thing. Like, it doesn't happen. So to me, this right here looks damn good. Like, I like this. Like, it looks classy. I would think that maybe if you put a parallel in here and whatever color it was, it would stand out even more. Matter of fact, that's probably a card that I should have grabbed. I should have grabbed one that actually has some color just to see how it would look with this. Because, I mean, if you put anything onto like a black background, it's going to pop. All right, so moving on. All right, so here we have PSA. It's smaller. I will give them that. It's, let me see. So if I put this on top, it is slightly, a little bit smaller than what the HGA and the SGC is. So I guess you would have a little bit more room. Dude, it's a red label. I mean, it's a red label. That's going to clash with anything. And I haven't got anything graded. What is it? CSG, I think. The one that used to, or the one that does grading or for gaming cards. I haven't done anything with them yet. But I've seen their labels are green. You can't tell me, oh, well, it's ugly, but PSA looks better because the label. All right, let's talk about the label. What are we really looking at on this one? It's what? Just letters and numbers. And it has a red background. Outside of that, I mean, it's okay. It's a regular, to me, it's a slab. Like, I wouldn't pay more because it's in a PSA slab outside of the reason that we've already discussed. But for presentation wise, I guess you could say they all look the same, which is great if you're looking for consistency in your collection for everything to look the same. But I don't like their labels because it clashes. Like, what if I have a card that's, I don't know, like neon green and black? Now I have a neon green card in a label with a red label, or neon green card in a slab with a red label. All right. So then next we have Beckett, right? So BGS. I think BGS is, I think this is probably a little bit more classier than SGC. And the reason I say that is because, of course, you have black label. Again, you use black as a color scheme with anything, it makes it pop. Then you have a gold, and then you have a silver, and I think for the lower grades, is it white? I'm not sure. But either way, you're using neutral colors outside of gold with everything. And if you put gold on any card, it's going to automatically, like, in my mind, it's gold. It's prestigious. It looks better. You know, it looks good. And it's a clear slab. The slab is plain. Like, the only thing I can say that I'm not a fan of is that the card is in a sleeve. The sleeve is buckled, and you can definitely tell that there's room in here for the card to move. And I'm not necessarily a fan of that. But I do think that for the most part, it's a nice looking slab and I wouldn't mind having it in my collection. And as far as size go, this again is a little bit smaller than SGC and HGA. And when I say, I mean, it's really, really, really not that much of a difference in size. All right, so here you can see all the slabs right here. So which one do I like better? I guess that's what it comes down to. So if I'm talking PC and I'm going presentation wise, which card do I like better to stand out? All right. If, for me personally, if I am grading parallels and I am planning on keeping parallels for my PC, I think I'm going to do HGA. Just because with the color match, it looks good to me. It stands out. It makes the card, it makes the case in the presentation unique, especially if you decide to get a custom label and you get a good grade. For me, HGA definitely stand out. I don't want to put a plain Jane base card in an HGA slab. I don't, because it just doesn't look as good to me. Now, base cards or anything else, what would I go with? I think that I would probably prefer either SGC or BGS. And the reason I say that is because I've seen a lot of vintage cards, and depending on the color of the vintage cards and the design of the vintage card, it looks damn good in this. I've seen a 1982 Magic Johnson second year card in one of these, and the purple and gold that's in that card just stood out due to the black background. Okay, it to me it stood out. The other part of it is with BGS, that clear and that gold, like if you get a good grade on it, it's like you automatically see the gold label and it just looks good. If you're lucky enough to get a black label, then it just looks good. If I had some cheap cards, if PSA was to ever bring back value and I just wanted to get something graded and I really didn't care and I'm flipping it, it's not PC, then yeah, I would definitely probably put it in the PSA because I really don't care to keep a lot of those in my collection outside of resale. Now, if we're talking about labels, now you can see on the BGS, I didn't do subgrades on that one. And of course, everything that you do with HGA comes with subgrades. I do have a better appreciation for the subgrades. And though this could mess up pop counts with HGA, I'm almost tempted to pay the $20, get my cards back in 60 business days with HGA to get an idea of what the subgrades are. And then potentially move that over if I was to resell it, then get it graded with BGS. Because at least I kind of have an idea. Like this one right here is a 9.5. The subgrade is 9.5, 9, 10, and 9.5. So at least I have an idea that this very well could be a BGS 9.5. If it wasn't a card that I wanted to PC in the first place, I could send it over to PSA and it could be a 10, but we don't know how they're going to grade. I mean, they definitely could give me an 8 and then I'd be super pissed. Or they could give me a 10 and then I'd be ecstatic and then I just sell it and make the money off of that. So, I mean, like I said, I don't know. For PC, for PC, I think that if I know for sure I can get a good grade out of it, I might test run it with HGA and just make sure I have the subgrades on it. And then if it's good, then roll the dice with BGS for PC. If it's a parallel, then honestly, I really would rather just have it in an HGA slab. Anything else, depending on what it is, SGC, definitely I like. PSA, really PSA I'm only using to flip. Like PC right now, I would take PSA out and he's in. And for me, I buy a lot of duplicates. So I try to buy like multiple of, say like Jordan. Like we'll just throw out 88 Jordan. Like I will try to buy multiple of those. And then whichever one gets the best grade, that's the one that I'm going to keep, and the rest of them I would sell. So for something like that, I would probably still go with PSA. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. What's your preference? Just don't talk about resale, because we've heard it already. Like, we know. Like, you're not saying anything new. Like, you're not enlightening anybody with the whole resale argument. But for a cosmetic, like, as far as look and presentation of the card, the labels itself, which one do you like more? And then even go as far as to explain why. Like, if you like PSA's red on their labels, tell us why. If it's your favorite color, I'll respect that. That's perfectly, that's fine. Everybody has, their thing. But yeah, like the video if you like it, and subscribe. Other than that, have a good one. Peace.